Hello folks, I just wanted to show you something I've tried with my Sony camera here. I dug this up out of storage. It's 2007, so it's about 18 years now, coming up on 20 years anniversary. It happens to be a 480i recording system. It's meant for DVD recording. It even has a disc burn option here to go straight to DVD. And I thought at the time, DVD was the great, amazing thing, but it's very quickly after it became pretty outshadowed by, Blu-ray, by even iPhone cameras. Everything went up to 720p, 1080p very quickly. This thing became obsolete in a sense because the resolution of it is very low. It's a smooth recording system. I can record tons of stuff on here. It's very convenient. It's a small camera. You can see my hand fitting around the thing, but it's 480i. So it got me thinking, can I upconvert any of my old videos, of the family with this thing? And I ended up downloading Upscayl, which is free also on Mac and Windows and Linux. And I'll show you my experience with it. Basically, to sum it up, my computer system and the way that I'm doing this right now is extremely slow. I don't have the power to actually do much. So my system could only handle upscale light. It can't do anything with any other settings. It just doesn't have the GPU or rendering power to do anything. So I've given up on upscaling any of my videos from this camera. But I will show you, I was able to upscale a cartoon, Big Buck Bunny, which you can see here. I'll show you how that looks. But I was able to upscale this thing and actually take it from like a really grainy looking sample here, about a minute sample, to a smooth one. It took me overnight and a lot of time, and my computer was running like at 100% CPU power. It was just impractical for such a little thing. So I know that for sure I'm not going to be able to do much with the videos in this camera at the moment. I'm gonna have to wait a few years for my systems to catch up, because I just don't have the raw computing power to do really much. I'll just save the raw video, and maybe one day, if I feel like it, I'll upscale it from 480i. The videos are smooth, but just don't look, they're blurry looking on a modern television, obviously. The resolution isn't high enough. So I'll show you what I did with the Big Buck Bunny video and how I used Upscayl along with ffmpeg to basically strip the frames out of the original video, upscale them, and then stitch them back. And let's show you the results. Okay, so you're looking now at footage from the Sony camera that I just showed you. You can see it there. And it's basically using a wide angle lens. I've got my laptop there. Now the optical properties on this thing are great. You can see I'm gonna zoom in now. I'm zooming in. That's, I think, optical right there. Still optical zoom. Okay. And then it's gonna start going to telephoto, digital zoom. So at this point it's gonna become very noisy. And I'm not sure if image stabilization is on, but basically it can zoom in a lot, but up to a point, it looks good, and then it gets really bad. I'm gonna take this lens off. Okay, that's the lens I was using right now, and you can see it is able to get closer. You see how how close I'm getting? Still focusing, and I'm like an inch away from the screen. You could probably see the individual pixels there. Focus is pretty well, but obviously I need this wide angle to get a good indoor shot. But here it is again, zooming. If I get close up enough, it works fine. There, see? But if I'm far away, and now I zoom in, okay, there we go. It's fine. And here we go. We're right at the edge of the optical zoom. And here we are in digital zoom. Okay. So that's just the output from this camera. And basically, here, we'll put this lens back on if I can get it to fit. And we'll have a look at what upscaling does. But obviously, not upscaling video from this camera because it would take way too long. Even this video right here, which is extremely tiny, took me a ton of time to upscale. So let's look at the results of that. Okay, so this is the original source file. It was an excerpt from Big Buck Bunny animation that I had created, 180 by 104 resolution at 24 frames per second. And the reason it was so low is because I was trying to play it on some really cheap Android watch that was very, very low quality. So I wanted to see if this would work as an animated GIF. So I had that file around. Now I decided to extract all the images back from this thing using ffmpeg. Input-i is the source file. In this case, it was bigbuckbunny.mp4, but whatever your file is. And %04d.png makes all the files basically 4 digits, 0001.png, 002.png, and so on. So it created 1,440 PNG files, which was basically the 24 frames per second of this animation times 60 seconds. So I had a folder of files. I went into Upscale and I chose Batch Upscale. I selected in step 1 there the folder for all the files that I wanted to basically encode. Those are the files there. You can see 1,440 PNG files. So that folder was chosen. And then in the next step here, I chose Upscale Lite because my computer just can't handle anything better. So now you can choose better models, obviously, that are going to take much more time to render on a faster machine. And then finally, I chose, the scaling factors 4 times, and the output folder was selected as well. Here you can see the output. So on the left, you can see the original 180 by 104 source file. And the upscaled 720 by 416 is looking really, really good. It's crisp. It does have some interesting look to it, but for an animation, again, on the left, you can see how pixelated and rough the edges are. And it's a miracle that this software is able to basically blend in everything on the edges. It's quite surprising. And remember, this is with my really garbagey computer and using the Upscale Lite. So I can't imagine how much better the Upscale, like a regular version, would run on a good machine. But keep in mind, this took me the whole night to render pretty much. So you can see on the left, the new is basically wiping in over the old, and especially over the images of the trees and so on. You can see how much more crisp the edges become. It's like pretty fascinating that it was able to do it. Okay, so by now you've seen the amazing results that we're able to get with this cartoonish image, but it was only 180 by 104 pixels at 24 frames per second. And 1 minute of video of that going through the process took me numerous hours. I basically ran it overnight because I didn't want to wait in front of the computer, but it took numerous hours to upscale. The videos that I have, my old family videos from 2007 and beyond at 480i interlaced, which is 720 by 480 resolution. It's just going to be a massive undertaking for me to do right now. I just don't have the raw computing power and GPU, CPU power to do really anything right now with my videos. Perhaps in a few years, once I upgrade my machines, or if there's some new innovations in technology, it will make sense to do it. But I have no reason to start bothering to upscale family videos. It's just not worth it. I understand professional photographers can, make new use of their old videos and footage, but for me, it's just a massive undertaking with my hardware at the moment. But the technology is incredible, and just if you want to download it and try it even on images, it's great for photography. Still images are much easier than using it on video, yeah, it's very, very cool stuff, what you can do. So I just hope you enjoyed this quick review of what I was able to do on my Linux laptop using Upscale and ffmpeg. And if you enjoy the video, please subscribe, thank you, and like, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.